when you talk about, getting lost in time when you're doing stuff with technology, I find myself, if I'm in the restroom and I have my phone, I'll easily spend 30 minutes just sitting there on my phone. But if I don't have my phone, I'll be in and out within like 5 minutes.
So the bathroom has become your place of worship to your smartphone.
To my phone. Yeah. As odd as that sounds. Yeah.
Your bathroom is now the sanctuary to your smartphone. Do you have like a little pedestal to put your smartphone on?
No.
Okay.
It's my hands.
No, your hands are just a little pedestal.
Yes.
So that sanctuary you have for your cell phone, how's it going?
That's too personal.
All right, guys, welcome back to Use Your Words podcast. I'm Josh. I got Aaron to my left and Paul to my right. And this week we're going to be talking about self-limits with music.
Why are we limiting ourselves with music?
We'll discuss that in a moment, sir. And I have a feeling on this one. Well, I put in links in the notes specifically to throw you off on what I'm thinking.
Oh, great.
That was on purpose. But anyways, so you got anything else to say, Mr. Brewer? Kick us off? No?
I think you had something.
All right. Well, I have a couple things. First off, thank you for those who've been listening and downloading. We breached 200 this morning, which I was reading some articles on podcasting because, of course, I like reading articles, as we found out last week. They said in your first 4 episodes, if you get an average of about 50 episode, which 200 divided by 4, we're at 50. That's better than about 50% of the podcasts out there. Which 100% takes me by surprise. So thank you for all who are listening. Seriously.
Yeah.
The next thing, like us on Facebook, comment, interact with us, shoot us an email, a message, even if you don't like us. Which
definitely,
that's fine. We want to have those conversations, and we're not afraid of that. We're not going to just sit there and tell you go away. Why are you laughing?
That one. The one comment with the interaction we had.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Technology one.
Yeah, and that's fine. You're going to have a lot of that out there where people don't agree with that. And, obviously we're coming from a very specific perspective, a worldview, as I was beaten into my brain at Cornerstone University. What's your worldview? What's your worldview? What's your worldview? That was in every class, everywhere, all the time. I never got enough worldview beaten into me there.
That sounds awful.
But on the flip side, that's true because my worldview does dictate how I see things in life. So anyway, today we're talking about music. So I've looked up some lyrics to some songs.
Wow.
And
songs? I want to know now.
Don't get ahead of yourself, or ahead of me, sorry. And I noticed a couple things, and I decided let's play a little game. A competition between Aaron and Josh.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm going to give you some lyrics to a song. Okay?
Okay.
And you have to tell me, is this a praise and worship song or a contemporary secular song? A pop song?
Oh no, I've already seen I've seen a couple things about this.
Have you now?
Where it sounds like it's basically just pop, your average pop song, but they're playing it for a worship service.
Some of these, I read them and I was like, there's no way this is an actual thing. And then I looked it up and...
But it is.
Oh, I was so scared after seeing that. So, you'll get a point for each one you get right. So just letting you know that's how it's going to work. It's a competition. Winner... Well, it'll be a surprise for what the winner gets. And they'll get it next week.
Aw, why do we have to wait so long?
Because I have to ask your preference on it. That's why. So, all right, are you ready? I got a few of these. And these are in a doc, so you can't see them. So you'll have to listen to what I tell you. The first one. As I feel your touch, you bring a freedom to all that's within. Is that a worship song or a popular secular song or a love song? Aaron, what's your thoughts?
I think the secular, no, worship song.
Okay. Josh?
Worship.
I have a feeling all of these are going to be questionable. I feel like the ones that we were going to say is going to be a popular.
There's none in here that are blatantly obvious. I took out the blatantly obvious ones.
Dang.
Because if I put in the blatantly obvious one like sloppy wet kiss, all three of us would know what that is.
Yeah.
So
we would, I guess.
I would have to say
Don't copy me now. No, I'm kidding. You
no, you
choose
can
whatever
copy
you
him.
want.
Yeah. What are you saying, Josh?
the opposite of Aaron.
You're saying it's a secular
Yeah.
pop song?
Secular.
Well, Aaron is right. It is a worship song. It is Pour Out My Heart by Craig Massiau.
I don't even know who that is.
I didn't either, but that's okay.
How do you wait?
Musseau.
Musseau.
Yeah, Craig.
Is that with the
Massiau or however you
C
say
or
it.
K?
Craig. Okay, the next one here. I've been everywhere and back trying to replace everything that I've had till my feet went numb, praying like a fool that's been on the run.
Josh, if you want to go first this
Yeah,
time. you
we'll
can go
alternate
first.
who goes
Okay,
first.
Good.
Josh?
One more time.
I've been everywhere and back trying to replace everything that I've had till my feet went numb, praying like a fool that's been on the run.
That's secular.
Okay.
I was going to say secular as well. I mean, I can see how it could be maybe a worship thing, but I'm going to say secular.
And you're both right.
Sick!
Okay, good.
It's Feel Again by One Republic.
Wow. One Republic.
Okay, the next one. We're going all the way, and the wonder of it all is that I'm living just to fall more in love with you.
That's worship.
Secular.
Josh is right.
Get out of here.
That is Deeper by Delirious.
Never heard of that song.
How do you spell delirious?
It's Delirious. They're late 90s, early 2000s.
Well, ew.
Yeah. All right. The next one. My first, my last, my everything, and the answer to all my dreams.
Wow.
Secular.
Okay. Aaron?
I hate this game. I'm going to do the same.
Secular, you're both right. It's
All right.
the song is called You're the First, the Last, the Everything by Barry White.
Barry White?
Yeah. You know, the guy who wrote a bunch of love songs? Yeah.
No, I don't. But
Yeah, him.
I don't know who Barry White is, to be honest.
I thought you would have due to your parents, but
What?
I figured they would have listened to some of his music, slightly older music. That's okay. They got you
Interesting.
into whatever brothers, Smothers Brothers.
Brothers.
Yeah. All right, the next one here. Your love is a one in a million. It goes on and on and on. You give me a really good feeling all day long.
I want to say secular, but I'm going to say worship.
Okay, Josh?
Bub, 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 ba-da-dub, bub, bub,
All day long.
bub, bub, bub.
Come on,
bub,
this isn't a hard...
Bob-
this-
Secular.
ba-da,
Okay.
ba-da.
Thank you for finally answering. So, secular, and you said worship, right, Aaron?
Mhm.
It is a secular song.
Well done, Josh.
It's called One in a Million by, and I have no idea even how to say this person's name. So I'm not
It's
even going
okay.
to try.
Dang it, I was going to look him up.
Okay.
You don't
The
even have a voice changer on either.
The next one.
No.
As I feel your touch, you bring a freedom to all that's within.
That's worship.
Aaron?
I'll say worship on that.
It is. It is Pour Out My Heart by Matt Redman.
Matt. I know that
Wow.
name, but I don't. Matt
Redman. Yeah, we do a decent amount of his songs here at Fellowship.
Yeah.
All right. Lay back against you and breathe. Hear your heartbeat. This love is so deep, it's more than I can stand.
I'll just say worship.
Worship.
It is. It's The More I Seek You by Carrie Job.
Carrie Job! Oh my goodness! Gosh, I added a phone. I added a phone of hers to my music. No, I added a song of hers to my phone. Wow.
Good job. Yeah, when I read that, I was like, that's just weird. That is just weird. Okay, this next one. There's only like 4 more left here.
Wait.
What?
He's ahead by 1, isn't he? Son of a nut.
The score currently is, Josh is ahead by 1. So you better hope he gets one of these wrong.
And
okay.
I get all of them right.
Okay, this next one here. I don't know how to say exactly how I feel, and I can't begin to tell you what your love has meant. I'm lost for words.
Secular.
Aaron?
Secular.
You are both wrong.
No! It's copying me, I see.
I don't.
That is the song "Pour My Love on You" by Philip, Craig, and Dean.
What?
Philip, Craig, and Dean?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
What are you guys thinking over there? Just kidding. I couldn't write lyrics to save my life anyway, so you're doing good.
Okay. Actually, I lied. There's only two more because one I just realized I left in there by accident because it's it's very obvious. The next one here. Your voice is warm and tender, a love that I could not forsake.
You go, Josh.
I see what you're doing.
No,
He needs time to think.
Say it one more time.
Your voice is warm and tender, a love that I could not forsake.
I like how Paul's getting into it. As he says it. He says it with passion.
You have
Worship.
to give me an
Oh my
answer.
gosh.
Okay, worship.
Oh my gosh.
Trust me, I'm not staring into your eyes when I say that. Aaron, go.
Secular.
Secular. Aaron's right.
No! Yes!
It is The Power of Love by Celine Dion.
Celine Dion.
I should still be
Wait.
up by one.
No.
We're tied, you fool.
Yeah.
You fool.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
tied.
we're tied.
No.
Yeah. All right, this last one here. Guided by a beating heart. I can't tell where the journey will end, but I know where it will start.
Oh my gosh. Josh, you go first. I went first last time.
when Paul goes, Aaron, you're first. You go first. I jump in.
How about this? So we can't accuse Josh of cheating here.
We're gonna
What?
do rock,
How am I
paper,
cheating?
scissors.
Close your eyes. Close
Wait,
your eyes,
what's-
both of you. Hold up a 1 if it's secular or 2 if it's worship. I want to.
One if it's secular, two if it's worship.
Yeah.
You say it one more time.
Yeah.
All right. Listen to my voice. May my voice guide you in this. Here it is. Guided by a beating heart. I can't tell where the journey will end, but I know where to start.
Paul, you should be a narrator.
So 1 is secular, 2 is worship.
Yep. Okay, open your eyes. And with that, Josh wins.
Yes! I wanted to say secular so bad, but I was like,
I don't know. It's the way that Paul was saying it. It didn't seem to have like the rhythm of almost what a worship song would have. It had more.
It's
of
a love song.
I know.
Okay. How does the rhythm define whether it's a worship song or not? Are there not worship songs that have many different rhythms?
Have you not
Josh?
seen like the video of how to write a worship song? Use these 4 chords and insert any rhyme here.
Yeah, that's the
and-
basic.
And words that can rhyme with themselves. Hallelujah can rhyme with hallelujah. Anyway, so your prize, Joshy boy. Next time we get together for whatever, your lunch or dinner is on me.
Oh,
what?
That's just so cute.
Look at that.
Oh.
You
You
won.
better make it somewhere expensive.
The Cheesecake Factory. Here we go.
You
Bruh, go better
Hey,
than that.
I love Cheesecake
Dude,
Factory.
No. Sebastian's.
See, I'm not trying to make you broke. Aaron wants to make you broke.
Yeah.
I do not. I'm just saying you might get your bang for the buck, man.
Wait, does this mean that we have to do a competition too for you guys? Like,
What?
so I have to do a competition for Aaron and Paul now?
No. It's if you come up with an idea, run with it.
I know one for Paul and I we could do.
Oh, which one?
Is the bassist using a pick or nah?
Ooh.
Oh,
Ooh.
that
Then you have to
that one's
distinguish between. Well, yeah, listen to recordings and
Oh,
see
yeah.
who's using a pick or not.
yeah.
I like that idea.
I don't. Let's not do that.
I hate picks on bass. Just FYI, and Johnson has a love adoration for them for whatever.
No,
reason. I'm
I
just
don't
kidding.
mind what you do.
Anyways,
Paul is a quote unquote elitist.
no, I'm a purist. Anyways, yeah. See, I picked out some of those songs. I was just like, oh, especially like that Carrie Joe one was just ridiculous. I would have gotten that one wrong. I would have.
I mean, when you listen to the full song, it makes sense, but it's when
So,
you
yeah,
listen to the little snippets that just completely throws you off.
That or
Yeah.
it's who it's by.
Yeah.
Well, even if you know who it's by, you're going to know more about the song. But if you don't know, and that's all you hear, your mind's going to jump to probably what it doesn't mean.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
So just because a certain person sings it, it's going to mean something else than if a different person sings the same words?
Yeah, Josh, answer me that one.
Well-
Riddle me this.
And I wish I had video right now because Josh all of a sudden stopped like a deer in the headlights. I was like, uh-oh. And with that, without even transitioning, Josh took us right into the conversation. And he jumped us like in the middle of the conversation.
So let's take it off, Josh. Take it away.
Yeah. I asked you a question.
It away.
Does the
You have the same words because you just said, if I know this person's singing it, I'm going to take it this way and compose to this person. So if those same two people that are in your head sing the same words, the same song, does the song mean two different things?
Does the song mean two different things? Well, knowing the history of what someone's messages are when it comes to music will cause that. So if Carrie Job suddenly starts singing an Eminem song, which she never would, but
I would like to see that actually. That would be entertaining.
you would know something would be off because that is not what she does.
Yeah, that would be off, but she's still singing it. What if she puts that out as her next single?
Something's wrong.
What if she puts out Eminem's most... I don't even know his music, honestly. But what if she records a cover of, like...
One of his songs?
One of his songs where he, like, swears, like, every other word. Or he talks about some weird stuff. Or what if she does a cover of, like a death metal song where they talk about all the stuff that they do?
What do they do, Paul?
Yeah. Oh, do you want me to pull up pull this
no.
up?
No.
He's ready. He's got ammo.
He probably went and found the worst song you could use for an example.
Oh, no. I'm not going to play a song because that would be a copyright issue.
Well, not play a song.
No. I went
lyrics
to Wikipedia.
Of course.
Because why not?
Most. Yeah.
You know, death metal, they say, you know, they talk about its history, blah, 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 blah. You know, some of the stuff they talk about, mysticism, mythology, philosophy, science fiction, politics, mutilation, dissection, torture, rape, cannibalism, necrophilia.
Wow.
What's science fiction?
Science fiction.
Okay, that's better.
Science fiction?
He said like science fiction. I was like, what?
No, that's where you go.
Fishing for science.
No. That's not where you go fishing for science. That's where you go fishing and, you know, as bait instead of, you know, your traditional worms and that. You're using, you know, molecular formulas and various chemicals to induce the fish to attack your bait and hook.
Oh, I'm so done.
But anyway, so what if Carrie Job did a death metal cover because of, you know, and she does a song about cannibalism.
Dude, is cannibalism even wrong? I mean, answer me that.
Why do you have to ask a question that can have a gray line?
What?
Dude,
how is cannibalism a gray line?
No. I'm saying your initial question of the same words, and you have one person saying it and another person saying it. Does the meaning change?
I'm going to some extremes here.
Yes, you are.
Granted, but sometimes
you have to go to the extremes too.
I'm not saying that's always going to be the case. She might do a Celine Dion cover, and people will be like, "Oh, I love it." I'm just asking because I don't want the simple.
You don't want the simple answer, no.
No, I don't want the simple. But she loves Jesus.
Well, if every song has, and some songs don't. I shouldn't say every song. Most songs have a direct meaning that they're trying to get across, or something they're trying to say.
So a Celine Dion song is
I don't listen to her, so I don't know.
Okay, let's pick a song you do listen to, like some country music. What are you laughing about?
I don't know.
Anyways, so depends. Yes and no. It depends on what the specifics are in the song. Because if it talks about simple love, or if it talks about like I said, it's kind of like a.
Oh my god!
See, that's not all, folks. See, and I have an answer to this, but
yes and no. That's my answer.
Yes and no. It changes the meaning of the song by depending on who's singing it, but no, it doesn't. My answer to that, and do you want to answer this first?
You go first.
Okay. Well, no. What?
Oh, I was going to say, like, it's the main message of the song. You know, mean, you could have a non-Christian artist sing a song, a Christian song, and your mind is not going to, depending on the lyrics, it might not connect it directly to being a Christian song. You're going to go, oh, this person is writing very clean, very loving kind of language in their music. But I would have to say, when you know who's writing it or you know where it's coming from, your brain would automatically eliminate any of the negative thoughts because you have an underlining.
Go on.
I'm just raising my hand so you know that I want to say something later.
It's gosh dang it, Aaron, why'd you do that?
Well, okay, I was gonna bring up the one song, for example, "Home" by Chris Daughtry. Him, like when I heard him sing that song, I thought nothing of it, and as a religious aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yet, K-Love or The Fish or whatever it was at the time thought that was a great Christian song. So had a Christian artist wrote that song, I might have thought of it in a way where it's like, oh, home is heaven and all this other stuff. So that would be one song that I'd be like, okay, if Chris Daughtry did it, I wouldn't think of it as a Christian song. If 10th Avenue North or something did it,
right?
Maybe.
So
for that song, I could. If it's not like very specific, does it change them? So I mean, I guess that does change the meaning.
Because in a way, if you think about it,
oh my gosh,
music is a very personal, emotional thing. You know, the artist is going to write it with certain thoughts and imagery in mind, but how a person interprets it is going to be a lot different than how the artist maybe originally wrote it. And yes, I agree. Sometimes it does change. And something like that, that's a very good example of one where it does. Mm-hmm. Some of the other ones, that they're a little more cut and dry.
It really does depend on the lyrical content of the song.
Yeah, I agree. So
you weren't
wrong,
far
off.
Josh. Yeah. Good,
right.
good job. High five. Yay.
Yes.
Team.
So when I throw those questions out for you, don't go for a loop all of a sudden, be like,
But still, now I really want to get back to cannibalism.
I don't know why you want to talk about cannibalism.
We talked about it at work.
Oh my goodness.
Well, pigs are cannibals.
Right?
And we eat them up like crazy.
But, what? What? What?
This jump in logic just went.
I just wanted to see what you would.
Okay. Well, no.
If you think about it.
I don't know. Well, as the guys were talking at work, there was this guy, man, just totally off, whatever. Anywho, this dude had to have his leg amputated.
Yeah.
He had his friends over. They had tacos.
No.
He used his leg for the meat in the taco.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So it's like,
in
is
what
that
country?
wrong? I don't know.
I mean, it's because let's be real.
What are we being real about?
Do we know all of the meat that we put into our bodies?
I mean,
are you even trying to suggest that?
I'm not saying it's human meat, but do we know that when we buy beef from fast food places that it's just beef in there?
Well, of course not. Well, man, okay, we should. Oh God, why did I do this?
Okay, okay. Let's put Josh's little "do we know it's beef" thing on pause here for a second.
Yeah,
because I want to get back to this cannibalism thing.
What? Okay,
there is actually bad things about cannibalism.
I mean, yeah, there could be bad stuff about it.
Like what? What are you thinking?
I don't know. I was typing cannibalism on Google. It said disease. I was like, ugh.
Yeah. So, and I pulled something up here. It's a disease called potential disease is a disease called Kuru. Kuru.
Sounds pretty sick.
Sounds like an animal.
It's found in the people in New Guinea who practiced a form of cannibalism in which they ate the brains of the dead people as part of the funeral ritual.
Oh,
yeah,
I have heard this before.
So that it was very bad thing for them, and it's basically like mad cow disease, but for humans. So,
wait, do they cook the brains or they just eat them?
I don't know.
I say because if you cook it, is it still going to be as bad if you cook something?
No, I don't think so.
It
Because
wouldn't
you'd be
think so.
killing anything in it.
It depends.
Exactly.
Some things can survive the heat.
Well,
So,
they got
and I
really
don't know.
torched.
I don't know enough.
Interesting.
What if you deep freeze it? Like polar vortex deep freeze. And then you cooked it. Would you kill everything off?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know, and I really don't care to find out, honestly.
Well, if I lose a limb, try it out.
You can eat your own limb. I'm not going to eat your limb.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So there are issues that come up with cannibalism. That's what I was like. That's what I was like. I want to pull back to this one. I was like,
but I mean, if we're a life or death, man, I'll
okay. If
eat
it was
myself or you.
if it was life or death,
Yeah.
and
It's very different.
and like you died because I murdered you in your sleep.
Oh wow. Okay. Cool. Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah. Then I would, have filet of Aaron.
Oh my gosh.
And this completely went on a full different track.
Back to music.
Yeah.
All right. Now I know who I need to stay far away from when World War III breaks out.
Oh no. Just the next deep freeze.
Oh gosh.
If you think about it.
I will say, just a little thing.
What?
Scientists are predicting that a lot of invasive species of insects died off during the polar vortex that was here in the upper Midwest.
Yeah, I know.
So-
I read that.
Okay.
And how does this have anything to do with cannibalism? Is beef, or music?
It's beef. Okay. So, music. Yes, music.
What is music? Let's start with that. What is
Oh my
music?
goodness.
Oh
See,
my
I was going to
word.
throw that question out just to annoy you because I was like, really? I'm not going to ask that because that's a ridiculous question. And then I look at the notes and Josh writes, what is music? I'm like, are you serious?
What is it? What do you well, I mean, seriously, what is it?
You tell me what you think.
What I think?
Yeah. What do you think of music is?
But I asked you.
You asked it. You're answering it.
You know why he's asking, right? He has no answer.
Gosh. dang it.
There's
Tell me what your answer is. Make one up now.
sounds or noises. Okay, right? Sounds or noises
Mm-hmm.
that have some sort of beauty to them, but they're put in a rhythmic pattern.
Okay, but what about songs that are intentionally not made beautiful? It have an irregular pattern.
Is it not
Well,
musical?
when
anymore?
you specify beauty in a song, are you talking about the notes or are you talking about the language? Because I'm talking
notes.
about how the brain will take it in. You're talking about the notes. Now, I was kind of giving music. Well, the definition of what I'm saying for music to me is not just lyrics, but it's also the instruments and it's the vocals.
Well, yeah, it's
Right.
So,
everything is one piece together.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, okay. Have you ever seen Star Trek?
Which one?
Any of them?
Yes.
Okay. I don't think you have. Or have you? Or
I
have you?
mean, I've seen some old shows and some of the new movies, but
Okay. Because one of the things that you think about that sort of stuff, I think of like Klingon music from Star Trek, where it's just like this loud symphonic of. That's it. That's about Klingon music right there.
wow,
So
that
I-
was beautiful.
was it? Oh, see, never mind. My argument has been dispelled because he called it beautiful.
Gosh, dang it!
But now some people are going to perceive different things as something that's not pleasing to the ears, to the brain, and some people will say it is pleasing. So everybody does have different tastes.
Metal.
All music has the same thing in the very end, and that is it's all built in rhythm.
It's
Poems are made out of rhythm. That's one of the reasons why our brain memorizes songs so well, is because our brains fire in a rhythmic pattern, and therefore they're able to pick up.
what
Rhythm.
it does. Where'd you learn that?
Yeah, as I say, do you have a link to this?
I don't have a link. I've known that for years.
Where'd you learn that one?
Years.
You learned it from years.
I can't remember where,
I
but
would like to meet this professional years
Hang on.
because I mean,
I mean, things. I can see how we can easily memorize things that is in, I guess, a rhythm that is catchy to us.
yeah.
If it grabs our attention, it'll be easy
something
to
we like.
remember. Yeah. Like metal. Metal's sick in a good way.
Yeah, it is sick about something. Makes me want to vomit. Of course, if I did that, the metal people would probably think that's awesome. So
that's so metal. Yeah.
Which is an oxymoron in and of itself then. Anywho.
A special breed.
So, as I was kind of preparing for this, I was thinking a little bit. And one of the things because I think, and the reason I think this, wow, I can talk in a logical sentence here. Even when I was growing up here at Fellowship here, when I started coming, we had organ and piano only. And I found that a lot of churches, and still even kind of to this day, there's a certain denominations that don't believe in drums, music, anything like that. Actually, I found a denomination that they only believe in singing.
Oh, wow.
Like any instruments are bad. That one was interesting. We'll get into that one in a minute.
That hurts.
So, that brought up in my mind, why did so many people think that? Why was quote unquote drums evil?
Because it's
aggressive.
It's an aggressive
sound,
scary, frightening noises made by ruthlessly beating on something, and that's violent. We can't have violence in music. That's just bad. That's evil.
That's evil.
Why would you listen to that?
Well, what about hand drums? Because a lot of churches are fine with hand drums.
Hand drums?
Yeah, like tambourines and that.
It's not.
They're hitting.
Yeah.
That's violence.
That's people need to change their ways.
And I find it fair, being a Christian, that I can kind of point out and maybe, I guess you could say, make fun of some of this stuff as well.
Right.
Like this article I found here, this one just, it had me for a loop. Basically, their argument, and this is from BibleAsk.org, and the title is, "Does the Bible teach that believers can use drums in worship?"
What?
Yeah. And so...
There's a verse in the Psalms where it talks about the clashing of cymbals.
Okay. They actually talk about that, right?
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And they're saying, you know what? Because it says cymbals, therefore you can only use cymbals. So they talk about all that, right? And then they go on to this on that. And this is where I think they take just this huge jump in logic.
Okay.
Here's their article. Here's what they say. It is interesting that there is no reference to hand drums being used in the New Testament. Okay. Historical records showed that drumming was banned because of their association with common and evil things.
What?
So because of that,
yeah,
they then say you can't use drums.
That's depressing.
Yeah, and so they then go on. The general rule is that all instruments should be used as an aid to the voice, not an overpowering element.
Well, guess what? We have microphones that can make it non-overpowering.
Yep. A continuous strong beat does not enhance the message and turns a spiritual ministry into a sensual one.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so some of those things I just like, oh. And then this other one here, they just take everything out of proportion. It is ridiculous. This article is the 10 scriptural reasons why the rock beat is evil in any form.
The rock beat.
Yeah, that's exactly what they said. Do you want to listen to what their definition of a rock beat is?
Yes.
Okay. The rock beat is and they have rock beat in quotes.
Okay.
Is a dominant and repetitious offbeat, which competes with the melody and distracts from the words of a song. The contradictory messages in the beat, the words, the melody, the style of the presentation, and the appearance of the musicians all create a subtle confusion in the minds, wills, and emotions of the listeners, which leads them to question the absolute moral standards of God. They just took this 100% out of the water. I was like, you are way off the beaten path here, people.
I've got nothing.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised you didn't read that in my link notes. So there are 10 points. I'm not going to read the full points because they are ridiculous. Okay. But the rock beat, quote unquote, deceives youth into violating the fifth commandment. And that's like a page of talking about that one. The rock beat violates God's command to give no place to the devil.
Okay.
The rock beat mocks God's command to love not the world.
What?
The rock beat defies God's command to judge all things as good or evil. The rock beat disobeys God's command to avoid all appearance of evil. Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
The rock beat contradicts God's command not to be brought under its power. The rock beat opposes God's command not to mix light with darkness. The rock beat ignores God's command for all ministers to be qualified. The rock beat violates God's command to protect our bodies as God's temple. I found that, and the thing is, they are 100% serious about all this. Like, they're writing paragraphs and pages per point about all this, and I'm just like, oh, buddy, there's people like this in the world.
You should send me that link. I want to take
it's in
my
the notes.
Well, then I have to go find it.
Yes.
How does it make you not honor your father and mother?
They have so what they do is they have, like, for each of these they have like various things. So I'll read one of the little stories here. This is from a guy apparently named Tim Love, age 18, from Washington, the state of Washington.
Okay.
About 4 years ago, our church got a new youth pastor. He began playing Christian rock before meeting and during activities. He encouraged me to get a copy of a certain tape. So this tells you how old this is. Tape.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Which I did, even though my parents forbade me from doing so.
You rebel.
Because I was being home educated, the church youth group was the only significant outside influence in my life, but that influence was enough to cause me to rebel and wreck my life in the next 4 years. I then started listening to secular soft rock music, thinking, what's wrong with this? It has less beat than Christian music. If only I had known what a deceiver Satan is, I would have saved myself a lot of heartache. About 7 months ago, as a Christian radio station's New Year's Eve party, I was introduced to Christian rap. Before that time, I did not listen to rap, but after hearing it here, I began justifying to myself that the beat couldn't be all bad because Christians listened to it, and that didn't seem to harm them. What it did to me was cause a complete breakdown in morals, which led directly to my becoming involved in immoral habits and illegal activities. Since then, I have taken steps to gain ground given to Satan for the first time in years. I have a feeling of complete freedom from the influence of music. I'm sorry, that's not the music's fault. That is our own humanity's fault.
That is your own fault.
And we like, as humans, to just throw stuff on the fire and say, it's this thing's fault.
This made
Burn
me
it.
do it.
But that's not the case. That's our own humanity that's causing that. It's just a nice, convenient trap. But this page has a ton of stuff like that. It's
golden. Just golden.
Yeah, golden. I would call it more cringy, but
yeah, you know, same, different.
You've been quiet over there, Joshy.
Yeah, he's trying to find all that science stuff about your brain working in
Found it.
Okay.
So what'd you find though?
Well, it's a lot.
Oh, great! I don't think we have time for this.
Give us the 10,000 foot view.
Wait, 10,000 foot view?
Summarize. The TLDR, the summary, the elevator pitch, the 5-second mumbo jumbo.
Oh. Yes.
Okay.
I remember I was watching this video of this guy on YouTube named Adam Neely.
Yeah.
And he's a cool dude. He was doing a video on like why pop music sucks.
Okay.
And he was pretty much at the beginning, I think, of the video. He was like, you know, music from older music seems to be better than the new music coming out. At least that's what some people are arguing. And there's this other video of this guy saying, he's like, music as an art form is dying and all this stuff. And for a while, when I saw that guy's video, I was like, man, maybe it is. Mainly just because I hate most of the pop music. Well, I don't hate most of it. It's just
You dislike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not really a fan of a lot of it.
But at the same time, it's
what?
Does it all make sense? Not really, no.
Well, no, I guess it depends on what you listen to. But Adam Neely is like, he's not impressed with that guy. He's saying he's wrong because it's not dying. It's just changing. Because at one point, jazz and stuff like that was considered evil music when that started coming out. And even this one guy, his thoughts on the Beatles, where they were just like an embarrassment to the music community. They were just, I'll have to pull it up. But he had nothing good to say. And that they're just like dumbing down everything for music, and it's not even considered music. It's like, wow.
Going back to Josh's question though about music, what is music? So you know who Moby is, right?
Remind me.
He's a multi-award winning international recording artist, DJ, very famous. Okay.
Nada.
Do you know who Hans Zimmer is?
No.
Yeah, you do.
I do.
Oh, you've heard his stuff.
Yeah, he's composed music for hundreds of things.
What?
It says he's composed music for like over 100 films.
Wow.
Yeah, so they're both very famous, okay?
Okay.
This was an interview from the website thoughtaeconomics.com.
Okay.
And the article, and it's a very long article, but it's a very good one. It's called The Role of Music in Human Culture. And, Josh's question about what is music, they actually asked him these questions. So Moby says, one of the fascinating things about music is that it technically, in a very literal way, doesn't exist. A painting, a sculpture, or a photograph can physically exist, while music is just air hitting the air drum in a slightly different way than it would randomly. He's trying to be all
super wow.
Yeah. Hans Zimmer, famous composer, music is organized chaos.
Oh, I've heard that.
Yeah,
I've heard that.
Yep.
Yeah. Organized chaos. Why does he call it chaos?
He goes on to expound upon it a little bit more, but I just found that interesting. Because Josh did ask that earlier, and I did kind of jab him a little bit. I was like, I was going to say that just to make fun, but I guess the hard hitting Thought Economics did ask that. So,
that's pretty wild. But no, it was, gosh, man, going back to Adam Neely. I guess to somewhat go on your whole brain sciencey thing. The whole music can release the chemical dopamine.
Yep, dopamine.
So I don't know. It's interesting. It's cool.
Well, your brain fires an electrical signals.
Are we going to read this again? Yes.
No, I'm just saying it just fires on electrical signals. So as you hear things, because as you were saying, it's air molecules that are vibrating, and when they hit the inside of your ear, you have they're like nerve endings. They're like little pieces of hair at different lengths, and they vibrate depending on the air that comes in.
Right.
And so that in itself is causing an electrical signal to your brain. So everything is firing in a pattern. And just to show that your brain fires in a pattern, let's see here. In Perceptual and Motor Skills by H. McGellera. They found that fast music, increased tempo, leads to people drinking a can of soda 39% faster than slower music.
Interesting.
Similarly, C. Cadwell and S. Hibbert in The Influence of Music Tempo and Musical Preference on Restaurant Patrons' Behavior of 2002 found that when slow music was played in restaurants, the time spent dining was 20% longer. but 51% more money was spent on drink per head and 12% more on food per head.
Yeah, this comes back to that whole thing that we talked about the other week about like horror movies where they, use music to build your atmosphere. That atmosphere is meant to provoke that emotional response. And I don't know if it's not so much rhythm as maybe emotional at that point.
Right.
You got faster music, you think, something's happening or you need to hurry up for something or whatever.
Adrenaline starts rushing.
Yep. All those emotional little triggers that come in.
See, I guess that's, I'm just trying to think of like, for athletes and stuff. Well, I just remember going to Brewers games where as each batter comes up, they play, I don't know, like their favorite song or like
a little clip, their little hype song.
Yeah.
To hype them up.
Like for me, I don't know, I guess it just depends on what mood I'm in. But like I could listen to an August Burns Red song to get me just like pumped up and ready to go. But then there's like also just like really slow music, but even though it's slow, it's got a lot of, dynamics and intense like building and stuff like that can really get you worked up, Wow.
Yeah,
I thought you were going to say something, Josh.
I know, me too.
I was waiting, but no.
And most music is meant to give that emotional response. It's meant to grab something.
Yes.
Some of it's good, some of it bad.
No, nothing but good. Just kidding. Not true.
No. So
what?
This is.
I said not true.
I know. This is from the University of Melbourne.
Okay.
They were conducting a study by Dr. Katrina McFerrin.
I don't know who that is.
Just a person there at the university. Anyways, so they found something interesting. So this person is the senior lecturer in music theory at the Melbourne Conservatorium of Music. So, they're in the music school, okay?
Yeah.
This is their job, okay? And they found, let me pull this up here so I can quote them directly. If listening doesn't make, this is the quote, and I'll tell you what genre of music. If listening doesn't make them feel good about themselves, this should ring alarm bells. Alternatively, if parents notice a downturn in the child's mood after listening to music, this is also a cause for showing interest and getting involved. So her thesis, and that she did the study on, was that this particular genre had a negative impact on youth, specifically enhancing levels of depression in certain youth. Do you want to guess the genre that she studied?
Metal.
Heavy metal.
Go figure.
Now, that being said,
yeah,
I would want to read this because I don't know if her study is large enough to come to a appropriate conclusion, or if maybe all the people are concentrated in a specific region where maybe something's going on or something like that. Yeah. I don't necessarily buy that one in and of itself.
Good.
However, that being said, I also can see how that could be partially true depending on the content of the music.
For sure. Well,
I'm not saying the style.
No, yeah, it's all the content. What's
right.
being delivered in the song or whatever it is.
So if you have something like death metal where it's cannibalism, necrophilia, and that.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Necrophilia is good stuff, huh?
No. Sarcasm, come on.
Yeah, so I don't know if I necessarily buy that study, but I just find it funny that was out there and that was like on a medical website. That was study and that was conducted by a university. So Melbourne, Australia, obviously. So
right.
I don't know if it's a little different down there with how people perceive things, but I was just like,
Huh. I see, yeah, I find some of my, like, well, if I were to, if I can talk, there is some metal songs that would put me in a down mood, but not as much as some, I don't know, like soft, slower songs do, mainly because I can understand more of it for the most part.
So being able to understand music is worse for you than being able to not understand music.
Yeah.
See that, and that still brings up the question then.
What now?
Should you really be listening to stuff that you can't understand? Now, okay, I'm going to preface it with this here.
What?
If when I say that you can't understand, I'm talking about where a song maybe you didn't go and look up what the lyrics necessarily were. Like, maybe they're hard to understand, but you're like, okay, I've researched the lyrics, I know what they say.
Oh,
but maybe you know what's being presented through a song, your lyric or the, and somehow that means the beautiful flower that falls from heaven.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Because I'm sure there's something like that out there.
Yeah.
But if there's something like that, okay, I can't understand it, but I'm able to look up the lyrics and say, okay, that's what that means.
Right. Yeah, there's several times where I would listen to some songs and like I can't understand what the guy is screaming about, and one of my friends that was with me, they're like, well, let me look up the lyrics real quick. And I was like, no, don't look up the lyrics. I don't want to know what the lyrics are because I like the music aspect of this song. Don't ruin it for me. Of course, I still looked up the lyrics. They told me, I was like, well, great. Now I don't want to listen to it anymore.
But
which it's not a bad thing. But I was just like, you can't find an instrumental of it.
I know, but I mean that brings up the whole point of the conversation then of what are those limits that we should put upon ourselves?
Right.
I'm of the mindset, and I'll say this now that, and I don't get me wrong, I'm not 100% perfect on it. There's still some stuff that maybe I've listened to in the past. I'm thinking of a particular song by Pitbull, Timber. That I've listened to in the past.
Going down.
I'm
yelling.
Yeah,
Timber.
Josh, don't sing. But of stuff I've listened to in the past. So I'm not saying I'm 100% perfect. I'm not trying to be like Johnson. You must feel guilty about this now. No,
shame.
Yeah, no shame. But intentionally knowing and what the song is saying or representing or what it's euphemizing.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be in my repertoire. Same thing if I was a metal person, I'm not, but if I was and there was a big person going around with his Cookie Monster voice singing and everything, saying all this stuff.
Cookie Monster voice.
Yeah, Cookie Monster voice. And I knew what he was saying, and I was like, okay, I know that's not right. That's not good. That's not what I believe. That's not what I should be listening to. But you can't listen to it, so it's like, oh, I can pass this off. Da 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 da. That's still wrong.
I suppose. Well, yeah. There was one song. I guess what was it for me? For this band that I would listen to, and I couldn't understand the lyrics. After a while of listening to them, I slowly could start to understand.
Well, yeah, that happens.
And then I was like, well, shoot, okay, maybe I shouldn't.
And that comes back to maybe looking up the lyrics, reading them, researching the band a little bit. Yeah. Not having songs that say 666 party with the devil.
I'm glad you left it at that.
Huh?
Nothing.
You're glad I what?
Nothing.
No, I could just replay it.
I know you could.
So you're glad I'm what?
Left it at that. For the phrase.
I don't know the lyrics.
Okay, good.
I know that part.
Okay, yeah.
Unfortunately.
My bad.
Unfortunately. Yeah.
They actually came out with a serious song, and it was very surprising, and it's actually not that bad.
Oh, so I don't know so they came out with a song that's not satanic worship? Okay.
Oh, yes, they did. That's not their prime thing. That was the one song. Well, I think so. Well, no, they have another one, but.
So I have a question for you because I know he kind of had this look like, what the heck? Do you know what it means by when I say Cookie Monster vocals?
Well, I guess the whole growling.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
Obnoxious.
Yep. It's a tongue-in-cheek reference to Cookie Monster and how he eats cookies. That right there was a whole song. You just didn't know what I said.
Okay. In Cookie Monster language.
No, that was all your screamo stuff. That's
Jake would say otherwise, and any other metal vocalist. But no, yeah, there's definitely been a few where it's once you find out what the lyrics are, it's just come on, why you gotta do this?
Yeah.
And then it's upsetting because it always has to be the one that I really like the one I really like the instrumentation to. And then it's just like, why?
Yeah. And I am definitely not of the mindset that the instrumentation can be evil.
Oh, it's going to trigger you and just turn you to the devil. I remember this was, back when I was in 8th grade, and a friend of mine, she's like, when I started listening to Slipknot, she's like, they just have satanic beats. I'm like, what? I was like, tell me.
What's a satanic beat?
What's a satanic beat? I was like, because
is it a downbeat on 1, 2, and 3, and then 4 is the upbeat?
Yeah.
What is it?
Oh my gosh, that blew me away. I was like, there's no such thing. I hope you don't really believe that.
Well, okay, that actually leads me to something interesting.
And it leads me to something interesting too. But you first.
Okay, so back in the early, days when they were making, music, like early hymnals and times and that.
Yeah.
So 2 things with the hymnal things. First off, I've heard this a lot, actually. I've heard the myth that a lot of hymns borrow like old bar tunes, like bar songs as their basis. That's actually a myth. I was reading some research papers on that. That was actually interesting. So it comes from a confusion of the term bar tune, which is this whole other musical category. Doesn't mean a song sung in a bar. It's a other type of how the music is structured.
Huh.
So yes, it borrowed from bar tunes, but not from tunes sung in a bar.
Huh.
Okay, so
Wild.
first off, that was one thing because that triggered my memory. Okay. The other thing is that there's a thing, and you might know this because you're a little more musical than I am, tritone.
That's what I was going to bring up.
Yep. It's called Diabolus in Musica, or the devil in music.
Yep.
And basically where early Christian music, like I'm saying, like hymns and that, they did not allow the use of it because they called it the evil.
It's of the devil.
Yeah.
What's a tritone?
It'd be a very unpleasing sound.
Basically think of it as a dissonance in the chord.
So it's like if you were to your high E string and then you're on the B string, you play the fret above or below it kind of thing, and you have that really nasty
it's a clash. It's just
a clash of sound, really. Nothing that really sounds like something.
Right.
Yeah. Not saying that that's not a tritone in and of itself, but it's.
So would a tritone be considered a song that's played in a sharp or flat?
What?
A song that's completely played in a sharp.
There.
Yeah.
That's tritone?
Yeah.
Okay. So
those weren't all tritones.
No.
It was just like the first one was a tritone and then it played.
Yeah.
So because there are some songs that are played in the sharps or flats, whatever.
Yeah, I know, but
so would that be considered a tritone then?
Well, let's not get all hung up on what a tritone is.
I'm just asking.
I know, but I'm saying, in early church music, and that was forbidden from use because
so horror music.
Well, no, they called it literally the devil music.
Yeah.
I just found that funny.
I guess that's where you can get the saying for why metal is of the devil, because there's probably plenty of tritones in metal music. So,
yeah,
I guess maybe everyone's been right this whole time.
So if we're talking about language in music and the messages that music brings, should artists have a responsibility to monitor what they say?
Should artists have a responsibility for what they say? Are
Considering that there is no real good way to control who listens to it. So if you have a child listening to a song that's very sexual or...
Okay, I'm going to stop you there and ask this question. Where's the parent? Why is the parent not help, gating that access for their child?
Right.
That's not necessarily the artist's fault. That's a parenting issue.
And I was going to say that's exactly where I was going with it, because in an interview on 60 Minutes between Eminem and Anderson Cooper, Eminem denies any sort of responsibility and effect that his music may have on young teens. I quote, "It's your job to parent them, your children," unquote. He says, if your parent if you are a parent, be a parent.
Yeah, I say
So
there's no responsibility on the artist for what they say. It's what the responsibility lays on the person that's listening to it.
But now, considering how vast technology is, parents can't be everywhere. So these kids are gonna find a way to listen to this music. But I know where you're coming from. I agree. I mean, it should be the parent's responsibility to make sure that the kid understands what he should and should not listen to. But at the same time, the music industry is not doing a good job about having positive messages coming out of their songs.
Not every artist is going to want to necessarily have a positive artist. And look at all the genres and all the artists and all the various things out there, just even outside of music, look at all the paintings and that. There's a lot of pain. There's a lot of grief. There's a lot of suffering out there. Not everything is going to be nice, light, fluffy, unicorn
rainbows
horns
and unicorns.
Yeah, it's not all going to be that, so, and obviously you come at this from the non-religious view, it's going to go even darker. There's some people who love that and they oddly find comfort in that for some odd reason. I don't know personally, but that's what they do. So are they responsible for that? They're responsible for putting out music that their audience likes, whoever their audience is. If you're trying to control people, that I'm not going to go down that path. That's no.
That's different.
I don't even want to live in a world where we say you're responsible for everything you do. Because so what? An artist puts out a song that I don't like, I can sue the artist.
Yeah.
Well, in America these days, you probably could get away with that.
Oh no, you're not with that. No. That would still be blocked by free speech and that. But I mean, that would set a dangerous precedent that I would not be comfortable with.
Right.
That's just my thought on it.
It was just a question.
No, that's a fair question. Because that can lead to so many other things. Because then, okay, is Starbucks then responsible for what you do with their coffee? Because you're at that point saying, the musician is responsible for what you're doing with their music.
Right.
And I'm not saying Aaron would ever do this, but if Aaron was listening to an August Burns Red song while shooting up a mall, is August Burns Red? I said, I know. But would August Burns Red be responsible for that?
But
what?
There would be at least one group that would try to pinpoint that type of music to Aaron's aggressive behavior.
Of course there are. There have been,
and then there
have been groups that have tried to been pinning that to video games, to violent movies, to
him owning a handgun.
What?
Oh yeah.
What?
Well, if you shot up a mall and you were listening to August Burns Red, there would be a group that would pinpoint the fact that you were listening to a aggressive style of music while able to obtain a handgun legally. They would cross them over.
Okay.
Well, going on. But no, I would never do that. And why did I put myself into this?
Well, I put you into it technically.
Yeah.
But what I'm getting at is there might be some groups that, to Josh's point, where they might be like, well, he listens to this type of music, therefore he can't own a handgun. I think that's what you're trying to get to.
No, I was just stating the fact that they would try to intertwine. I got to be careful what I say because that's going to start a whole nother conversation.
No, do it.
No. A whole nother conversation. Don't let me talk about guns right now.
Okay. So,
but no, they would look at the factors around him and say that this is what's causing him to behave like this, or they would try to find some.
So you're taking it away from music being the reason I do it. It's just because I own a gun.
No.
But yeah, I don't think Aaron would ever do that. But I could see where some people would try to conflate and say because he listens to this music, therefore he is more prone to
he's going to be
shoot
violent.
up a mall.
He's a gosh dang it. He's Dangerous, which is a great song by August Burns Red. Dangerous. Such a good one.
Sure, I'll take your word on that. Yeah. And just nod my head no the entire time.
Well,
we're doing it physically, so I can see that.
if we're going, just kind of jumping off what you were saying, Aaron going into a mall, shooting up people, listening to August Burns Red, you're not saying it, and Aaron wouldn't do it because we all know Aaron. He can't even hurt a fly. He can hurt a spider. No, he can't even hurt a spider.
I certainly can.
There's too many of them. You're too scared to get close. But no, going back to how you were saying that music, could possibly introduce a behavior.
Yeah.
I'm kind of getting a little straight to the cut with this here. In 2014, a report by the organization Stop Street Harassment shows that 65% of all American women have endured some form of vocal harassment and 41% have been touched or followed.
Okay.
So, what's the cause of that?
I don't know.
My guess is they're probably going to link it back to like pop music or something like that, or love songs, or
Talk Dirty to Me.
Yeah, stuff like that.
So
what do they link it back to?
Well, they're kind of saying how it's all sexualized, what you were getting at. But there are a lot of songs out there that do promote violence and dominance, and a large percentage of popular music sexualizes women.
Yeah.
So when should there be... Now, again, this is kind of going to what you were saying before about, controlling people. But in America, we like to not address the problem at the source. What I like to say is we don't cut the snake off at the head, we cut it off at the tail.
I have to interject here. The past couple weeks now, every week, Josh has gone, my favorite saying is, or I like to say, and I have never heard him say any of these things before.
Really?
You right.
I forgot what last week's was, but I was like, I have never heard him say this before. And this week, I'm like, I've never heard him say this before.
I've said that before.
Have you?
Yeah.
I have never heard of it.
I say it a lot of times when I'm talking political.
I don't like having those conversations.
Anyway,
so maybe that's
probably why I don't.
Anyways, go on.
No, I'm not saying that the music industry is the cause to the sexualization of women, but they are promoting it if a lot of their songs are talking about it. And the one thing I would tell somebody I used to work with is, when you tell yourself something over and over and over, you're going to start to believe it.
Yeah.
So if you're listening to these songs over and over and over, and they have these messages, before you think of, you're going to start to believe it.
Yeah.
Even if it's just a phrase that's in the back of your head, it will pop up.
Yeah.
So should there not, and like I was saying, should there be some form of limit when it comes to music like that?
You're not going to be able to.
Well, you're not going to be able
to. Who's imposing the limit?
That's the other thing is you can't do that. But in your guys' opinions, do you think there should be a limit? Not that there will ever be a limit, but do you think
it's going to have to be personal?
I say
if it's anything outside of that, I will say no. Here's how I look at it. Okay. I may believe one way and one set of things, and I may have very strong beliefs in that. And those songs I will be like, no, I will not listen to. I will not even engage with. But I also believe it is not my position as a Christian or anything else to necessarily enforce those views on others, especially if they're not Christian.
Correct.
Society as a whole. I can work to influence, but I'm not going to say this is what it goes. You look at a show like The Handmaid's Tale, that where it goes to the extreme on that, where the right wing, very religious Christians get in control and say this is how it's going to be now. They're enforcing their ways on things. That's where I have to draw the line myself. Personally, at a personal level, I will have to self-monitor music. Outside of that, I can't get behind anything like that. I can't say, you know what, now we got to find the musicians because of this. Now, do we have stuff like, the FCC in that where we say these things can't be put over the airwaves or these things can't be put over, radio? That's fine because, if anyone's listening on the radio and that, we're saying these are, as a society, our standards on what can and cannot be put out there. That's fine. But if you go and buy a CD and you play it in your truck and it's whatever, hands off.
Yee.
I was not necessarily looking for that kind of response, but that is a very good response. I was looking for, a response of, yeah, Josh, I would like to see, a music industry with. You
never know what answer you're going to get with me.
No, I don't. But.
And I'm not going to give you the nice, easy, simple one either. And it may not be exactly one I would love to see. And would I love to see all music out there that I don't have to worry about who's around me if it's playing, and I could play just whatever and not have to worry about it? Yeah, I would love that.
That'd be sweet.
But at the same time, guess what? That's never going to work.
No.
Because as a society, we have to accept that. And unfortunately, we have to kind of get out of that idea that each segment of the society. So I'm talking about Christians, Muslims, gays and lesbians, whatever, that each of our segments need to push our views out and say, you must now all 100% accept and embrace. You can, I love my cousin in that. He's gay and everything. Mm-hmm. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm not I'm not going to be like, oh yes, here, let me set you up with this guy, Aaron, because I think you two would be great together.
Hello.
I'm not talking about you, Aaron. I'm talking about another Aaron I know.
Well, then that's awkward.
But I'm not going to do that because, that's where I'm coming from. But I still love him in that,
Yes, absolutely.
And I still know that's out there. And I'm not trying to go up, to him every day, every time I see him, be like, you must go straight or anything like that. I'm not doing that to him.
Conform, change your ways.
If someone, let's say from a very conservative Baptist church, came here on a Sunday morning, they would probably flip out the fact that we have drums. And
true.
Would you want them to then interrupt service and then start going on about why we need to get rid of everything? Or, they run up with their flamethrower that they have on their car and start burning the drums.
Oh boy, that's scary.
Okay, Mickey.
I didn't even try to do that.
So that's where I come from of look, I know where I'm at. It's never going to be perfect. It's never going to be 100% compatible with what's out there. I just got to deal the best with it and know that I'm not going to agree with everything.
Right. I guess from the whole, as Christians, we're given free will to make our own decisions. So why would we try and force others to, why would we want to control others, and force them to become what we would want them to be?
Yeah. And there are limits within that free will kind of debate thing about what you should choose and not choose.
Yeah.
But that comes back again to the content and not necessarily the style.
Yes.
Now, obviously
what?
If it was, okay, this is an oxymoron. You would never see advertised, now playing in your local theater, see the Christian strip artist. You would never see that. Okay, that's an oxymoron. That's one instance where the delivery method does not match up with the message, no matter how hard you try to bring them together.
Yeah.
Now, if it was, an ex-stripper and they were giving a lecture on something, 100% different message and delivery methods. But
right.
If you, leaving it there.
Yeah.
Josh, did you have something? Because I saw you flare your arms out like you're about to conduct something.
Let me ask you something.
Okay.
Now, what's interesting is music has been linked to medical, okay? And when I say linked to medical, I mean it's been used. Let me pull it up here. I thought it was quite interesting.
And music. So when I did my little stint in inpatient at the psychiatric hospital last year, they use music as part of therapy.
I say music is a medicine.
Yeah, because some of the music, especially I know for you, calm music isn't exactly the best.
I do like calm music.
I know, but you were talking earlier about how sometimes it isn't. But anyways, so like we would have a half-hour session where it's just calm music to help calm yourself. And for some people, especially like if they suffer from anxiety attacks and that is the best thing in the world, because it allows them to just not have to deal with all the stimuli for a while and be able to just refocus. Right. So yeah, it is useful in medicine in that, especially for reduce stress, reduce anxiety, focus. There's actually been some studies that some music actually helps people eat less.
Eat less?
Yeah.
I need to find that.
Me too, sir. Me too.
I saw it was really cool that for, elderly people that their minds are fading away and with Alzheimer's and whatnot, or they don't, I guess, is there like different types of Alzheimer's where it's like you forget the past, or you just forget stuff?
I'm not a doctor.
Short-term memory or long-term? I don't know.
Don't know. Not a doctor. Don't play what on the radio.
Cool. Well, good. They would use music as a way to light up an old person, and like they'd play music from when they were kids and growing up, and it would just like, give them a little spark and make them alive again.
Reactivate some of those long-term memories.
Yeah. And oh my gosh, that was like a tear jerker moment.
So
I love stuff like that.
I have an article up here. One study found that playing upbeat music leads to improvement in processing speed, while upbeat and downbeat can lead to benefits in memory.
What? That's interesting.
Yeah. So yeah. So mellow music and dimming lights helps you eat less.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to try and be more aware of that, because
So it says, according to one study, people who ate at low light restaurants where soft music was played consumed 18% less food than those who ate in other restaurants. The lighting and the music create a more relaxed setting, and since the participants were more relaxed and comfortable, they may have consumed their food slower, and then they felt fuller. Because
you gave your body time to react to what you're putting inside.
Yeah, exactly.
I say,
wow.
Let's see. A study led by Brunel University in the UK suggested that music may reduce pain and anxiety, as you were saying before, who have undergone surgery. So, by analyzing 72 randomized controlled trials involving more than 7,000 patients who received surgery, researchers found that those who were played music after their procedure reported feeling less pain and anxiety than those who did not listen to music, and they were less likely to need pain medication.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. I believe it. See, other medical uses here. This other one here. One group listened to 45 minutes of relaxing classical music, while another group listened to an audiobook for 3 weeks, at bedtime. And they did like sleep studies this entire time. So those poor people. But anyways, the participants that listened to music had significantly better sleep than those who listened to audiobooks.
I have it's weird.
Yeah.
I would, like, sometimes I'll try and sleep and listen to more soothing music to fall asleep to.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I have a hard time with either soothing music or fast music at times. I guess it just depends. But I'll find myself like paying more attention to it. And, listening to it more in depth at night when I'm trying to go to sleep. And that's just like, then I'm like, look at the clock. I'm like, I didn't want to be up this late. And then I'll get frustrated.
So then that brings on another question.
Wait, I'm not done yet.
Okay, finish.
But also, when I first like heard of August Burns Red and I started to like them a lot,
Yeah.
I would play them on my little stereo in my room overnight and fall asleep to it because for whatever reason it was soothing. And then I woke up one morning with my cords torn out of the stereo. And then I asked my dad, I was like, why aren't they working? My dad is like, it's like, I'm sick of hearing that stuff at night and I can't sleep. I'm like, oh. So, I mean, yeah, it works differently on other people, I guess. Depending.
Like me, what I do when I go to bed, I actually have a routine. I have a little Google Home device in my room. It's a speaker device. It's specifically a speaker. And I say, the wonderful keywords I'm not going to say because it'll trigger everyone's Google devices. But then I say, I'm going to bed. And when I do that, it knows to turn off all the lights, set my alarm for the morning.
All's fancy.
And then it will play for a half hour. It'll set the volume to 60% on the speaker.
Does it work its way down?
No, it sets it to 60% volume. And then it'll play my main playlist for 30 minutes and it'll just shuffle it. It doesn't just pick a particular set of songs. It'll pick anything that's on my main playlist and just shuffle for 30 minutes at 60% volume. I find, and that's across the room a little bit. So, it's a little quiet by the time it gets to me. But I find that I just fall right asleep.
Interesting.
In some days I'll get praise and worship music. Some days I'll get Red. Some days I'll get anything else, classic crime.
Right. Okay.
And it's varied. It's not the same thing every time.
Right.
But my body's like, okay, this music, I can now sleep. Yeah.
So what was your question there, Mr. Brewer? Please.
I think you might be able to figure out what I was going to ask.
No, my mind's
If
not
you
that
think
smart.
about it.
Thank you, Paul. Can music be addictive?
Can anything be addictive?
Well, that's a yes.
Yes.
Things are addictive. There's alcoholics. There's we're not staring at you, I promise. There's sex addicts. There's all those things. So could music be addictive?
Of course.
Probably, yes. My question then is it a negative addiction necessarily? Because is it causing harm by listening to too much music? I mean, okay, maybe if you're spending a ton of money to go to concerts or you're buying every new CD or you're
traveling
listening to
long distances just to see your favorite band.
No, you do that for fun. Or you listen to music really loud where it becomes a problem is if you
don't want to listen to anybody else. No. Oh, okay.
No.
Paul's got something better.
Where it becomes a problem is if you abandon your other things, such as maybe your job, your interaction with friends and family, or prearranged social engagements or anything like that to listen to the music instead. Or you go to these engagements and you're just there with your headphones in, just not interacting and not doing anything and just listening to music. And that's fine to do once in a while. Like some days you might just be like, I'm done. I got nothing left in the tank. I need to recharge. And I'm already committed to going there and I'm just going to go into my headphones and, listen to music because I'm guilty of that as well. But if you're doing that consistently over time, over and over and over and over again, where you're locking yourself on isolating yourself when you could be doing other things that maybe might be a little more productive, that's when it would go into the negative side from my side.
I follow you on that. I was going to say a lot of the same because
What?
Whenever I'm in the car, and especially if you're specifically with me, Josh.
What? Why me?
Because it's just you.
Aww.
That's not a good thing.
Oh.
It's when you're trying to talk to me and I have my music set at a certain thing, when you just turn my music down on me and then you start talking, I'm like, no, you do not turn my music down unless you ask for permission. And then whenever you don't even have to be in my car to drive me nuts, Josh. You know that?
You just got to call him in the middle of a breakdown on
Yes, yeah,
exactly. I've had weren't you with me, Paul, and Nico did that?
Yep.
Yeah, it was during Hero of the Half Truth. Yes. Whenever I get a phone call and I'm just like digging this song and like jamming at the moment, and then you call. It's more often it's you, Josh. Sorry, it just happens to be you. It's not like you mean to, but it's just like,
but
it just sets me off. I was like, no, I was enjoying my music, and now you're interrupting me. But then I'll get over it.
you in my defense, you're usually always listening to music,
I
or
am
you're
always.
playing games. And if you're playing games, you usually don't notice your phone go off with a
Right.
text. So that's why if I need something or if I want something, I call you, because I know if anything, you're kind of forced to pick up.
I'm not forced to. I can make a decision.
Well, if you're in the car jamming, your phone's going to automatically start ringing and your
I know,
music's
it's-
going to cut out.
Irritates the living day. If I turn my phone on silent, would it still do that?
That's a car thing. I don't know.
I'll have to try that.
Maybe Aaron's addicted a little bit to music.
No, I'm not addicted to music.
Well, I mean, when you listen to it and then you look at the clock and you go, wait, it's too late. 'Cause you got to remember your brain does release dopamine, which is
It can.
well,
Might not
it does
always.
when you listen to music, but at the same time, that also gets released when you do a lot of other stuff that is considered as pleasures.
Yes.
Drugs release it too.
Yes.
So you
Well,
you
there's
almost,
a lot of things that release dopamine.
oh yeah,
Right.
but
Uh-huh.
with you, might be a
With
little bit more than
me.
normal sometimes.
What? With music? What? No, because I mean, music doesn't always have to do that, does it?
Release dopamine.
Yeah.
Some people I think are a little more like you are a little more sensitive to music. When I say that, you maybe get a little more emotional response with the music.
Yes.
I say music can
You know,
do
so
a lot to me.
When
some are
music-
like that, some are not, or
Right.
maybe it's also where you're at in your mental health state.
Yeah.
You know, back when I was
Very
having,
true.
a lot more issue, music was just this gray blah. It had nothing. You know, it could have been a song that I love now or loved before, but now it evoked nothing.
See, for me, depending on like if I'm in, I guess, a bad spot or in a bad time, music that should try and help cheer me up won't cheer me up or just, I don't know, help me get over whatever it is that's going on, does nothing. The only music that I'll start to be able to not start, but the only music I'll be able to kind of feel is anything that puts me down more. So it just reinforces that negative, mentality.
Yeah, that's a negative self-feeding cycle.
It is.
I've been there, done that. Have the t-shirt. Never want to go back.
So, I mean, yeah, when you were saying earlier, Josh, how you listen to something so much, it starts to get stuck in your head, and then it's something that you start to believe at some point. I feel like more often than not, because I would listen to some songs that were nothing but, I guess, bad messages, and I went at first listening to it, I was like, wow, this is a sad, dark song. Like I enjoyed the song. It never did anything to me until I started listening to it a lot and a lot and a lot, and I was like, ugh. So,
And part of that necessarily isn't maybe the dopamine thing, the chemical thing, but it's because you're listening to it so much.
repetition.
It's that repetition. It's forming what you're thinking. Because sometimes when you're not even if you're just kind of letting your mind drift and do whatever, you go back to those things that your brain knows. And
Right.
how do you know those things? Repetition, 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 repetition.
And I remember, I guess I never thought of, when I fall asleep to music, that I guess you still can take in, your brain still takes in what the music. Is that true or no?
I
Where it's
don't. I honestly don't know.
Your body, well, not your body, but because I mean, your ears don't stop working. Your brain doesn't stop
Right.
working.
I mean, I personally, I would say yes.
Yeah.
Now how much of that's true, I don't know. I can't tell you that.
Same.
Just from my personal observation.
Yeah, I've never looked into it because I remember Josh saying, and I thought it was some other, I don't know, episode, probably the darkness one, but when I had my what was it? Why can't I think of what it? I can't think of the word to use it right now.
If you think about it.
Goodness, a little stage or whatever, or what do they call that when
What?
someone's going through a phase? Wow.
Use your words.
There, yeah, I went through a phase of just like, well, I couldn't help it that all my clothes were. Well, I guess I could help that all my clothes were black, but it wasn't planned. But I just had a dark time during high school, and I remember I would like listen to Slipknot day in and day out overnight. That would always be playing. What are you cracking up about, Paul? Stop laughing.
No,
What's going on?
I'm just imagining an emo goth Aaron. Black lipstick, black fingernails, black dyed hair.
Dude, eyeliner. I have worn eyeliner before, for your information.
Yeah, I've heard you have also worn a dress.
Bruh. So it was for Halloween.
I hope
okay?
not both at the same time. That's all I'm saying.
No, it was not at the same time.
That's all I'm saying. But no, I was cracking up because you were talking about I had my little dark phase.
My dark face.
And I just all of a sudden imagined an emo goth Aaron. And that just did cracking.
Black is a great color, okay? It's very slimming.
That's exactly what I was going to say. It's very slimming.
Yes. and
Apparently
it's great
Josh
for
needs
hiding.
it.
Yeah, you're wearing it right now. Am I? But it's whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh. Okay.
Well,
Well, what?
you guys are ready for the next thing?
I guess. Go
All
for
right.
it.
Did we ever finish
I was
the addiction
doing some research. I was like, there's no actual, I wouldn't say substance that has been backed by universities or anything like that. But now I'm not talking about, because the police have a weapon and it blasts high frequencies.
Yeah.
And it's designed to irritate and make you, it's riot control.
Yeah. Sort of like how stores a while back used the little mosquito annoyance sound to keep teens from entering their store.
What? I've never heard of that.
Probably because yours are damaged.
Yeah. Minor damage, so don't feel bad.
No. Anyways.
But it's going through the internet, you see a lot of articles about Guantanamo Bay.
Yeah.
And they used music to torture the inmates or whoever they captured.
With Nickelback?
No.
In Canada.
But they literally weaponized music.
Okay, so my question then is, okay, Guantanamo Bay, what was the full population consisting of? And then was that music used because it was anti what they believed? That's what I'm guessing they probably did.
You're pretty much right on it.
Yeah.
Because, your music links you to who you are and your culture. So they would play stuff, especially Muslims, anything that would go against what their culture
Go on.
believes or anything like that. They would blast it and blast it loud. And one picture shows a bunch of people in orange suits tied up with headphones on.
Okay.
Yep.
In a
Sorry, I'm laughing because I'm looking at the song list they used.
Oh, no.
well, check,
Oh, no.
I was saying another thing is a report from a Ukrainian town of Feodia, whatever, claims Russia has been broadcasting propaganda to, and this is from 2014, local people over loudspeakers, and that Ukrainian troops have responded by blasting back the music of an American pop singer, Cher.
Who?
Cher, Cher.
I've never heard of.
Cher?
Cher? I don't know. Never heard of him.
Her?
Wow.
You've never heard of Cher?
You've
No.
assumed.
Wow.
Check this out. Here's another. During the siege of the Iraq city of Fallujah in April 2004, Associated Press reported that the U.S. Marines played songs including AC/DC's Hell's Bells to unnerve insurgents. While in 1989, American troops used rap and pop including Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Ashley, to flush out the pen.
Are they never going to let them down or desert them?
To flush out the pen. I can't even say this.
Anyways, go on.
A leader out of his hiding place.
Okay.
In the Vatican Assembly.
Okay. So do you want to hear some of the songs they use as torture? The CIA used as torture.
Oh, please.
So the first one, I'm not going to say all of them because some of them I can't even say. The Real Slim Shady by Eminem.
The Real Slim Shady.
Take Your Best Shot by Dope. Dirty by Christina Aguilera. This one. I Love You, the Barney theme song. Saturday Night Fever by the Bee Gees.
The Bee Gees.
The Meow Mix theme.
Oh,
meow, 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 meow. Beautiful People by Marilyn Manson.
Yeah, I love that song.
The
beautiful people.
I don't know if you're gonna have this on your
And
list.
We Are the Champions by Queen.
Oh,
Those are the top 11 songs that they use. Anyways, go on, Josh.
no, I was just gonna say, another one was Enter Sandman by Metallica.
That was used for what?
The CIA.
For what?
For what we're talking about.
Using it
torture.
to torture.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Barney and Friends theme song.
Yeah,
that's why I just said.
Okay.
I Love You.
Bodies by the Drowning Pool.
They're using all these songs in that are basically the opposite of their culture, the things that they believe in.
Let the bodies hit the floor.
Are you trying to get us a YouTube copyright strike? Seriously,
how is that going to do that?
YouTube's sensitive.
Oh, YouTube is just great. Yep.
It's like a cat lady in the middle of a Meow Mix commercial.
Wow. Wow. I really want to watch that video of that old man singing that song now, though, again.
Nope.
He was awesome.
No.
He was a great guy.
Anyways. That right there would be torture.
No. That is not torture.
Sir? Yes, it is.
Whatever.
Josh, any more questions that you got, sir?
Yeah, that's all you've been doing today.
No, that's good. That's fine. Someone else besides me taking the lead on questioning, I will cherish it. Because then that means I'm not the only one talking all day.
Yet he still did a lot of talking today.
Yeah, you didn't do any talking. You just asked questions.
That's fine. Got anything else, Joshy boy?
We should do a study on Aaron.
Oh, no.
You can't do a study on one person.
No, I got no more questions.
No more questions, no more comments? No more juxtapositions?
Nope.
No more ramblings, no more rabble rousings, no more anything like that?
Nope. I do.
Oh, you do?
We don't care about you.
I was asking him, and then I was going to come to you.
Well, he's not that important. I'm kidding, Josh. You are very important. Don't.
Wow.
Man. Don't make that face.
He's going to go cry about this to his hairdresser now.
That or the enforcer, and the enforcer will just be like,
The enforcer will tell us good job.
what? Oh my, no. Not the lip thing.
It used to work really well on him.
Anyways, Aaron, what do you got?
No, I mean, I don't really have anything. I was just going to ask you guys what, I know we already know that Josh didn't listen to music until he became a friend of mine.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
What did you listen to? From 13 to 16.
13 to 16.
Who did you listen to a lot?
Okay, see here. I got to go back into the memory archives now because, old.
Do you not listen to them? What you used to then? Now or no?
I have the music still. I do not really listen to what I listened to then. So 13 to 16. So that would have been, oh, geez.
Only a couple of years ago.
96.
I was 1 year old.
It's a 99. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see here. So wow. There wasn't really anything specific that I'd listened to.
Didn't listen to like Nirvana and stuff and like
Oh no, that would not fly in my house.
Backstreet Boys, then like
No, definitely not Backstreet Boys.
wow, such a hater.
So no, what I listened to then was literally, I don't even remember the station. It might still be the same station. It was like 99.1, like the mix or whatever. It was just like, whatever the pop song, rock songs of the day were,
Okay.
that were safe, quote unquote. That's what I'd listen to over the radio because I didn't really have a CD player. The only CD player in the house was like my mom's and my brother's, and my brother would listen to like Disney music because he was younger.
Oh, okay. Oh,
You're a little bit younger than
okay.
me.
Are you judging on Disney?
I am.
Judging on Disney or dissing on Disney?
Both.
Yes.
Paul?
You
Yes.
said yes. Josh, I know.
I'm asking Aaron.
Anyways, going on. So, whatever was popular at the time, whatever that is, I don't remember. Near the end of that, like when I turned... What the heck?
What?
Okay.
What was that?
This is another time where I wish I had video. Josh, just sitting in his chair, decided to take his shoe off, put it up to his nose, sniff and inhale, and then put his shoe back on.
What?
Is this a ritual you have?
I'm just trying to see how easy it is to distract you guys, and it's working real well.
No, I think he's just using it as a hide.
Yeah. What do you really have in that shoe? Do you have like weed in there and you're smelling it for later? Are you huffing your shoe?
The devil's lettuce.
No,
Put that away.
No, it's the devil's shoe. He's huffing his shoes.
I cannot disclose.
Defend yourself, sir. Okay, back to my story now that Josh is distracting me. So yeah, 13 and that, whatever was over the radio. As I got older, like 15, 16, when I was a little bit more on my own, I guess you could say, I was probably, no, I can't say probably. I know what I was listening to then. I was listening to stuff like OC Supertones and Delirious and that sort of stuff. DC Talk,
Okay.
Audio
know that.
Adrenaline.
Know that one.
Well, this was the original Audio Adrenaline before their current singer. Because my first CD that like I got on my own, that I purchased on my own, that wasn't like a CD I got as a gift for, from my mom, and all the CDs I got from my mom as gifts were like Disney CDs. Okay. So the first CD where I was like, hey, I want this. It was Audio Adrenaline Bloom, one of the earlier CDs. I still have that CD.
Nice.
Do I listen to it? No.
Okay.
To be fair, that music has not aged well. I listen to once in a while some of the Supertone stuff just because I still like that big band ska style. But did not age well though. Did not age well. That's sad that it didn't, but that's okay. I understand. Music quality at that time in the Christian world, very lacking. There was a big skill difference between the two environments.
I believe that.
And thankfully nowadays that difference has gotten smaller.
Oh yeah.
But it used to be very, very wide gap that sucked. Yeah, I mean, and some of that music change was just change in what was happening in my life. When I was 13 in that, we really didn't have money. Literally, my mom had to get money from her sisters and that so we could have food because, my dad was fighting cancer. He wasn't working. My mom was trying to do whatever she could. So radio, that's all we had, It wasn't really involved in the youth group at that time. Wasn't involved in the church really. My dad would take us on Sundays, but that was it. Like, it was weird. He would bring us on Sundays, but we never stayed for Sunday school, never went to youth group, never did anything.
Huh.
So after he died, I somehow got involved in the youth group, and then that started shaping and molding some of my musical taste. And it wasn't, at that point, it wasn't like I was like, well, this is secular music, I will not listen to this. It just, that's what the people in the youth group were listening to. So that's what I started gravitating towards a little bit. Obviously that it wasn't as big a shift for me as like going from country to August Burns Red, as Josh tried to do at one point in his life. But
What?
Yeah.
remember we talked the other time about how you like August Burns Red for a little bit, and
Now it's country.
Well, what I like about August Burns Red is their winter stuff. And there's some songs I get into, but I just usually listen to them. I listen to their winter stuff in the winter.
okay. So yeah, that's my answer. That's why I listened to between 13 and 16. And Josh, when did you meet Aaron? So we know when you started listening to music.
You really want us to start talking about this again?
No. What did you listen to between the ages of 13 and 16? Did you listen to the Crickets, or did you listen to your parents singing? Did you listen to the fans on your computers? Did you go out to the night sky and be like, I can hear the stars. The color of the wind tells me to go.
The Song and the Stars.
Oh, excuse me.
Wow.
Yeah. Honestly, whatever Aaron listened to, besides the Screamo. So I think it was some rock, Christian stuff.
I said it would have been a lot of more Skillet.
Yeah.
Man. From, age 13 to 16.
Yeah.
Trying to think of what grade I was in at those times.
All of them.
What? Let me try and figure it out. Now I have to figure out how old I was when I.
How old you were when you were 13 to 16?
No, what grade I was in when I was certain.
You, sir.
That's
were
almost
in
as good as they're like socks, but for your feet when talking about shoes.
8th grade freshman. 8th grade, 9th grade. 8th grade
Well,
freshman.
I was 16 at the end of 8th grade.
What?
No.
Yes.
Whoa.
Nah,
No, that's
no,
not possible.
No.
Yes.
You were held back at the end of 8th grade?
No.
9th grade.
I turned 16 at the end
And
of my 8th grade year.
So that would have been 17 at the end of your freshman year, 18 at the end of your sophomore
Oh, wait.
year.
No.
Wait a minute.
You were
No.
14.
I could have had my license at the end of freshman year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
should have been
like your temps or your learner permit or something like that. Because you would have been.
Well, it would have been that first.
Because I'm like,
Yeah.
8. Wow.
Wait,
good,
right?
good job, Aaron. No, would have to be at the end of your sophomore. Because when did you turn 18? After your senior year, right? Or before your senior year?
I was 19 at the end of my senior year.
Okay.
He was one.
yeah.
I was 1 year behind.
So you were
I started
8th grade. You were
14 to 15.
14.
I turned 15 at the end of it.
Mm,
Yeah.
You said you were 19 when you graduated?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what
19
I listened
minus
to,
4.
Yeah. Josh, come on now.
Oh, wait. We forgot. He was held back a year.
Me? I know. Sorry. Well, I started late. I didn't get.
No,
well, that is a
I was
held
trying
back,
to.
I guess.
I was trying to make a joke that you got like held back in high school.
You know what?
Anyway, go on. The music you
So-
listened to at that time.
So then, I guess, through 6th grade, 5th, 6th grade, I got introduced into Skillet and Disciple and whatnot. So I was like, whoa, sick for the hard rock. I thought that was like heavy hard rock at the time. Like,
Okay.
I mean, Disciple was for the most part. I mean, especially compared to Skillet, they're a lot harder, more aggressive rock than Skillet was.
Yeah. I agree.
But there's that Third Day, Casting Crowns. I'm trying to think of any other. Read a little bit. That was more 7th to 8th grade. But then I came across August Burns Red in 7th grade or 8th grade. And then ever since then, they're my ride or die,
Until they break up.
Their music will live forever, but yes, I know they will
Yeah.
have to stop making music at one point.
Unfortunate for you. Okay. I know I josh with you about this a lot.
I
You know,
know.
Josh, you can joke.
Yeah.
That they're done, they're breaking up. But I get it. That's a band you really like.
They
Like-
are. I love August Burns Red.
Like I was very sad when Let's say something. I was very sad when like OC Supertones broke up. I was like, dang it, there went the end of that ska era. Again, because that was like the third wave of ska or whatever. It keeps coming back and keeps dying,
going away.
And then what's funny is the ska bands are starting to reform again.
Oh, really?
And I'm just like, please don't try to do ska. Go something modern. Because like Five Iron Frenzy's reformed. OC Supertones are reformed. MXPX is still going around, but they're more punk now. Well, no, they've always been more punk. Never mind.
Okay.
So I'm just like, please don't try to do a fourth wave of ska. Our hearts can't handle it. Let us have the three waves we've already had.
Well, no, because I saw in this video, they were talking about how there was a study done of the music you listen to in that time period.
Yeah.
Is stuff that like kind of like sticks with you throughout your life that you'll always have a love for. And I was just thinking, I was like, I guess I can see how that's true for some people, but then for others, it's just kind of like, no.
Like, will I go back and listen to it once in a while? Maybe, if I'm in a nostalgic mood.
Right.
But I also recognize at that time, that music was kind of junk.
Right.
Let's be honest. The quality wasn't the best. Could I overlook some of it? Maybe, because people go back and listen to music from like the 20s and 30s. Recordings weren't the best back then, just technological limitation, but they still like it. Whereas this stuff, it hasn't aged well because of how it was made. Not so much the recording, but the content and the presentation of it. So it just hasn't aged well that way. You have some like the older Newsboys songs, and they make me cringe now.
Well, that was like a thing. Like what? I can't remember what the dude's name that said it, but he was saying like for the music form nu metal.
Yeah.
Which like Linkin Park and POD to a point. It's they were saying that music's meant for stupid like 13-year-olds. And the guy's like, well, I mean, any music can honestly be for stupid 13-year-olds. So I don't know. It's just like
I will admit I have I don't know why, I've always had a little soft spot in my heart for Linkin Park.
No, yeah,
I enjoy it.
I enjoy some.
I love the vocals and that, but retrospectively, hindsight 2020, you go back and you're like, oh yeah, that was all the way back from like the first CD. Just kind of, he's had that groundwork there and it's kind of splayed it out for all to see about what was going on in his head.
Yeah,
not that that's necessarily wrong. I'm not saying that. We all go through that. I've gone through that. It's how you come out through the other end and what you decide to do. Unfortunately, ultimately, he chose to take his life, which is tragic, on multiple levels. But I still can look at that music, even though it's music that's maybe not, I shouldn't say maybe not, isn't from the Christian side of things. No. They have a completely different worldview, but what their music is saying is not against what I believe. They're still, they have those songs about, that darkness, that pain, and just trying to get through it. That's still fine.
Right.
I'm not saying I have to listen to, and if you look at my playlist, anyone can look at my playlist, whatever. It's not 100%. It's maybe 60 to 70% Christian music, but the other stuff is other stuff that I've picked up from whatever and has some sort of meaning, some sort of message, something that says, hey, this is positive, even though they're not saying Jesus. I'm not looking for Sunday school music.
No.
I don't want Sunday school answers. I don't want Sunday school conversations. I don't want Sunday school music.
Wow. Man. Jesus is always the answer, Paul.
What's 2 + 2?
You know what?
The answer is math.
Yes. I quit.
No, but I'm not looking for those simple things because you know what? Life is not simple.
It can be at times.
Okay,
It doesn't always have to be so difficult.
Yeah, it does, unfortunately.
Does not.
Reality is unfortunately that way.
Yeah, that's all I really got. I feel like for me, I'll always kind of be, I don't know. I don't want to say I'd be stuck in the music that I listen to now because I don't go out of my way to find a lot of new music. People that normally tell me about new music is because he likes to go out new kind of music and he'll always send me stuff that he's come across, but that's about it. I mean, I guess I'm not against finding more new music. I just seem to not get into the newer music as much unless it's August Burns Red, then it's great. It's gonna be great no matter what. Not true.
I can't wait until they release an album and you go, I do not like this album.
I did not like Leveler at first. When I first heard it, I was not a fan of that album. But then the next album came out, Rescue and Restore.
Yeah.
And then for whatever reason, I started listening to a couple songs on Leveler, and I was like, why did I not like this in the beginning? So now I like it.
Okay.
I don't know. But yeah, so I don't know. Maybe I'll keep finding new music as the time goes on.
How I find new music is actually I use the Google Play app on the phone, and they'll say there's one of the options on the home screen. It's like feeling lucky or whatever. And so they analyze your music library and they suggest music based on that.
Interesting.
Sometimes it's music that's maybe already in your library, but a lot of times it's artists or genres that are very similar to what you listen to, but maybe you would not have found on your own. Like I found some artists that way.
That's cool. Okay.
All done by AI.
And all hail the new AI overlord.
Yes. Roll with the pack or get left behind.
I'd rather get left behind.
Okay. Adios.
I
mean, I would too, depending on how crazy it gets, but.
Speaking of which, there's that whole book series right behind Josh.
Wait.
The Left Behind book series.
I was like, wait, what?
I remember reading that when I was when I was a youngin.
Way back when in the day.
When you were like 1.
Wow.
Anything else there, Mr. Johnson?
Man, nah.
Nothing else? Anything else, Mr. Brewer?
No.
You don't have to like go up to the mic and be all prim and proper and perfect. You can talk.
No, sir. I have nothing else I'd like to say.
Okay, we can.
Wow,
keep her moving.
That was bad there. Okay, so
goodness.
I got nothing else I want to wrap up with because I think I did a lot of talking this episode again.
Don't you always?
Yeah, I tend to do that, don't I? Well, hey,
I'm kidding.
That's how it goes sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Can't have it perfect. That's fine.
There is no such thing as perfect.
So I have made the decision in my own mind. I'm gonna pull the SoundCloud because
it's not doing. It gets to the point where we have to pay for it.
Yeah. And so I'm like, you know what?
Sorry, SoundCloud users, if there are some out there.
There's just one. PH.
Get over it, dude. You'll be fine.
So
no, I'm not sorry.
That URL is going to go dead sometime this week, just because.
Good riddance.
But everything else is still up and running. You know, Radio Public, Google Play, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Spoofy.
Yeah, that's what my one friend likes to call it. He always says spoofy. Like, nice.
Okay. You know, and any other platform where we were on before, YouTube, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, Stitcher, TuneIn, we're all there. We're there. And obviously our website as well, uiwords.com.
It came.
uiwords@gmail.com, Facebook, Use Your Words Podcast, Instagram, Twitter, UIW Podcast. What's up with what's going on? What I miss? What happened?
Nothing.
No, something happened.
I don't know. We just keep going.
No. We're stopping here until I find out what's going on.
That was weird.
What happened?
Josh and I had a moment. It's okay.
You had a moment?
Yeah, we can talk about it later. Yeah.
Were you staring into each other's eyes?
No.
Oh,
No, that wasn't it.
we're never gonna live it down if we ever get videoed.
Okay. We're also on Spreaker and Blueberry.
Blueberry.
Yeah.
It's a lovely. Makes me hungry.
So we're on all those areas. You can also go to our, like I said, our website directly and listen to the episodes directly from there. Listen from Facebook or Twitter. They're all linked all there. And in the show notes will be mine and Aaron's social media contact information. Josh doesn't believe in technology, so therefore you have to send him smoke signals, or you can be like, look for your local Amish group and be like, "Could you tell me where the boy who doesn't believe in technology is?" His name is Josh.
You're using it right now.
We have him
Shun
behind
the
a blinder so he
non-believer.
can't see it. So that way, he doesn't
That's
see
fair.
it doesn't exist.
You right.
So with all that being said, I got nothing else except to say I think we're done. And what the heck just happened here at the end? I lost full control, and that is fine, I guess. So okay, that's it. I'm stopping this before this train wreck goes any further.
He was
Yeah.
stroke. Oh, yes, he was stroking my leg with his foot. So I just like pulled out of my pants and I just like ripped him because it's like pop, 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 pop. So now I ripped my pants while recording a podcast.
All right.
The things never end.
Nope.
That was. Oh yeah, it's not done recording. It's still
It's still
going.
recording, Paul.